Because of all the hubbub Nox makes about if you die in the dream, you die in real life in the previous two-parter, it is consequently curious that the weapon he shoots Baku with in this latest dream turns out to be non-lethal. Of course, it could just be that the weapon is damaged in such a way that it impacts its deadliness, but I get the inkling that Nox isn't too keen on putting his fellow agent into an early grave either, since on at least 2 occasions now he's tried to talk Baku out of this dream superhero business, when it'd probably be much easier to just off his fledgling junior? I'm not sure if that's the correct terminology yet. Like, Nox claims he's a dream-wandering agent in the same vein as Baku, but he could very well be working for a different organization, or he could be lying, because, you know, antagonist. Of course, he seemed perfectly okay with letting Baku be poisoned to death in the previous story arc, so who knows? So what I think we can take to be true is Nox's connection to Kensei Otaka, since Nox acknowledges that name, just not as himself. Perhaps it is merely a fanciful way of distancing himself from the person he once was, or it could be a case where 2 distinct characters share the same face. Given the dreamier qualities of this series, I wouldn't quite put it past them. The strange thing that has me suspecting such is how it relates to the case the cast is currently focused on. Baku is tasked with protecting a yet disclosed national secret, and it turns out that the secret is hidden in a trio of paintings. But get this, Kensei Otaka originally had one of these paintings and donated it to an exhibit, so the monster of the week is seemingly tasked with bringing the paintings together so that Nox can get his hands on the secret? You see what I'm getting at? If they're the same character, that means Nox donated the painting, which he now has to steal back, when it'd probably have been easier if he just held on to the painting he already had, because then he'd only have to steal the 2. The scenario is such that Otaka's actions are actively impeding Nox's current goal, which kind of frames them as separate entities who are going against each other. Of course, it could very well be that Otaka was also tasked with protecting this secret at some point, but now, as Nox, he's had a change of heart and thus has to undo the actions he originally took towards that end.